I need to sneeze. Hold on. Okay,
Hello.
I'm back. Okay. Hi, I'm Rachel,
Hi, I'm Carly.
and this is Petites with Opinion. And this is technically episode 4, but of a two-part episode where last week we were discussing trends and we were discussing trends that we liked as petites or just as individuals. And then now we're going to dive into some of the trends that we are choosing to skip over this spring, going into summer, and then if they're still around, probably into fall. Um, so one of the trends that I've touched on before that I'm having a really hard time getting behind or falling in love with is drop waist like dresses. I touched on this before with you, but I do really feel like as a shorter woman, it doesn't it like kind of overwhelms my frame, even though with the drop waist usually the top is very fitted and then it's more the bottom sometimes that's less fitted, but I feel like it's missing the key point that I need highlighted, which is my waistline. And I know you've talked about highlighting your waistline too.
Yeah, I have to say I don't like that trend either. Like 100% agreeing on that, especially too because when it comes down, like I still have like a lower midsection issue, and I feel like then that just totally is like, oh, hello, let's make her look heavier than she is. So I'm definitely on board, not a fan of that either. I also don't love the high-rise denim skirts, like the long ones,
Oh yeah.
because I just feel like I get swallowed in it and I might as well go 2 more inches up and all of a sudden I'm wearing a denim tube top dress. It's like if the slit isn't perfect, creating like you can see like a hip, or if it's just not, then it's like it just again meets with my boobs and it's like, hello, where did her body go? So that's another one that no go.
Yeah, no, I actually have a hard time just in general, I think with so this is coming back where you're seeing a lot of like the peplum tops, which again does hide the waist. I do like the peplum look, so I don't think I'd skip it, but
Okay.
it's definitely a trend that I hope isn't around very long.
Right.
As well as like the peplum tube tops. Personally, I have problems with tube tops. I have problems with most strapless tops. I think most women have problems with most strapless tops. Um, and even as like a smaller chested girl, it's still just not my thing. Um, I just don't really also think that it's very flattering to not have sleeves. Like I feel like sleeves or even straps or something, it makes it a little bit more balanced.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also with struggling just with constantly pulling at my top. So I
Right.
wouldn't mind anything strapless
Yeah.
kind of on the way out again, but I feel like every spring, every summer, there's always a strapless version of something that's
Absolutely.
around.
Especially with like beach going, like anything that's a dress that's like a quick pull up. I agree. I did once find one really solid tube top that had like a rubber piece built in. So it kind of
Oh,
that and stayed on the skin. So that definitely helped, whether, large chested, small chested, it definitely stayed put. But that is one of the biggest issues with tube tops. Sometimes it's just like a slippery cotton or something, or it's not tight enough and it just like slides. And like, who wants that of any, body type?
exactly, exactly. And then I did remember what you were saying that you hated. Um,
Oh.
so I like this trend. So maybe this is a actually I think maybe you're in the minority here, but the bow front, tie front tops. Yes. So
So,
I like those.
okay. Now, the only reason why I don't like them is because I feel like with the bow ties and the little, eyelet peep through, is that you have to either be like super skinny or more on the flat chested side. I had done one in a vest style, and
Mhm.
I felt like I literally had to tie it so tight, or it was just like there, it wasn't cute. Like you were literally just looking at cleavage, and then to make it match in the stomach, it was a disaster. Like so I literally just tied it super tight and it didn't work with my chest.
Yeah. That actually reminded me of a tie front trend I did try last year, kind of around this time. Maybe it was closer to the summer, like July, but it was a like crocheted single tie, and then the
Okay.
rest of it was kind of flowy. I could not figure out how to style it. I'd like seen how other girls had done it, and I didn't feel super comfortable just kind of wearing that as a top on its own. So I wore
Right.
like a probably like a tank top or something underneath of it, and it looked so ugly. I did return it.
Okay.
I'll probably have to share, a
Yes.
picture or the video of it on my stories on Instagram. But yeah, that actually ended up looking really bad. And then for tie front tops, so I get what you were saying with like how it keeps open. My two favorite tie front tops actually have an extra piece of fabric so that
Okay.
when you tie it, you actually don't see anything.
Interesting.
Um, and then they also are even more trendy because they're peplum bottoms and they have the puffy sleeves too. One of them is also the leopard print, so it's trendy, trendy, trendy.
Yes.
But maybe I'll share that as well in stories, and then I'll also send it to you just to take a look at because
Yes.
that might kind of solve your problem where it's still, you can still
Right.
wear it, or you could think they're ugly and then not want to wear it
I
at
know,
all.
listen, I'm down to try anything. I feel like if it started like even under the chest and
Mhm.
kind of opened up, but again, remember, I have a short torso. So sometimes it's like if I'm wearing something high rise, unless it sits seamless, and
Oh,
falls over my shorts or something, then that's completely different. But if it sits weird, then it's still gonna look, come here,
yeah,
like kind of weird on me.
true. And do you even like the peplum style either? Because now that I'm thinking about it, you tend to like things that are more fitted because it gives
Yeah.
you more shape. And with the volume that like a peplum top does,
Yeah.
I mean, you might
No,
not like it.
it's not very flattering for me. I'm not like a big fan.
And a
Hello.
pookie.
Hello.
Cute.
Oh,
Oh.
hello, Sherry.
It's making me jealous. Pancakes in with Zach.
I feel like Zoe, no, she's not here. This light is blinding me, so I literally can't see my house.
Ah,
Oh no, she is on the couch over there. Just kidding. She's hiding.
goodness. Um, all right. So what other things do I not like? Trying to think. I mean, I am very similar to you, I guess, with what you just said, where you're like, I will try anything. I
Yeah.
really think that I would try anything. Um, Maybe the last thing that I really don't like, and I didn't really want to get into shoes right now because shoes is a whole nother topic, but I don't love, and I'm kind of glad that I think they're going out already, the super chunky loafers. Like the ones with like the heel that have the 90s vibe.
Nope, don't like those either.
Don't like
I
those.
I can do a regular nice flat penny loafer,
Mhm.
but I don't see the point in it being chunky. That's not, it's too much there.
It is too much. And like I want to like them. I've bought a pair and I've actually found a pair that's super comfortable, which was a whole other issue I was having with them originally. Um, but I think they are so ugly. And
Yeah,
I want to like them. And then I
no,
even want to do them with like socks and stuff. And then I'm like,
I know.
so
No,
bad.
I'm gonna pass.
Yeah, definitely, definitely a pass.